And we are
Hi.
live. We are live here to chat about tonight's episode of Suits, and I'm pretty excited about it because tonight's episode was a lot. Like, there was a lot going on. There was a lot of pretty, I don't know, but yeah. I just like started hearing my voice in the other ear on a delay. Sorry. I I felt like there was a lot of really strong development going on. Now, Shana, you were freaking out earlier today when you were watching it. Shana, say hi.
Hi, people.
So you've just got done watching it for the second time. So I'm obviously I'm talking about it live right after I watched it. You've had a little more time. So I think for this episode, because so much was going on, I think that will offer a really interesting perspective. And consequently, I'm going to toss it immediately to you and not just give your rating now, but sort of your initial reaction. Like, what were your first thoughts when watching it? Were you super pleased? And again, rating on scale from 1 to 5, 1 being terrible, 5 being amazing. Where were you at with it when you first watched it and then sort of now?
So it's a 4 point something.
Okay.
It's not a 5 because like that one line from Lewis they should have cut it. Like
Which line?
Do I get to be the boy with Harvey? Like,
oh yeah, that was kind of homophobic.
What year is this? Like, seriously?
Sometimes you just like realize the writers are so old and out of touch.
Juvenile, but juvenile at the same time is very weird.
Yeah.
And I mean, look, for the narrative, things were actually done exactly how they had to be done, but from like a fan fiction trope realization standpoint, I wanted Harvey at the gala with Donna in that dress, or at least see her at the office before she leaves and be like,
I really thought they were going to, and I know that's such a minor thing, and there was so much good in tonight's episode that I really did love, but I did kind of, I don't know, just expect there to at least be like a pass each other in the hall and giving, I don't know. But I don't want to start with complaints because I really did love it. So you're saying 4 point something. Yeah. Stormy in the chat says 3.25 out of 5. Ooh, Stormy, I'm really interested to hear what you liked and disliked because that's not necessarily a particularly high rating. Victoria gives it a 4 out of 5, which I think is a pretty high rating for her. Anybody else watching, feel free to drop your rating in the chat, and then you can also talk about maybe some of your highs and lows. And I would give this episode like a 4.25, 4.35. I really enjoyed it quite a lot. It wasn't perfect, and I know we already kind of got started on some of my little nitpicks there on like missed opportunities, and the Lewis line and all of that, but there were some really fun moments, and there were some moments where I kept expecting things to go bad or go wrong, like the Sam and Donna storyline. I was just ready to like get mad at any point, and I was like, wow, I really do see both sides. They really are both right. They both they fought in a way that was true to character. They saw each other's side in a way that was true to character. They came together to take down the real culprit and get her friend's job reinstated. It all felt so like well developed for all of it happening just in one episode. I really appreciated the writing in that storyline. Stormy says Lewis's therapist in 5 minutes did more progress with Harvey than the other did all season. That's so true. What did you think of the scene with Harvey and Dr. Lipschitz?
I mean, it's really nice to see Harvey get to actually see a real professional who's not about jumping on his junk.
A real therapist.
Yeah, and I just look, he's just Gabriel is super talented, and there's something very subtle that you have to do with a character like Harvey, because basically most of his persona is clearly posturing, because when they strip it down, he like barely holds it together, and he's always on like that verge of tears when they do this. But it's not over the top, and it stays in character because he really is just like this little boy who had his heart crushed. I know he wasn't really little when it happened with his mom, but he was still like, and that everyone leaves like, so first of all, like can relate. So it was just very well done. And I think, people wanted Paula back because
Whom?
Right. Right. No, they wanted her back before last season.
Okay, sure. They wanted Harvey back in therapy.
Right.
Yeah.
And we wanted to see him working his shit out because he's got a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And you know, they kind of like threw the story away, and when they revisited that character, not only was that character done a disservice, but Harvey was done a disservice because he was like, oh yeah, I'm cured and I can be in a real relationship. And we were all like, sweetie, no, right? So it was really nice to see them, what I'm going to call course correct. And
yeah. I mean, it's course correcting, and it's even if they can't necessarily correct what they did with Harvey and Paula, which I think that there's a couple moments in this series as a whole, which obviously I love this series as a whole. That's why I'm here doing this. But even if there's a couple moments that I think they can't really course correct, like in the span of, 7 point something seasons, there's some mistakes that were made that they can't get back. I kind of harp on the 100th episode as a moment that I think was, you can't course correct from that. You're not going to get that back. And I think Harvey and Paula, there were some, I guess, missed opportunities to really make that storyline a really interesting ethical dilemma, and they kind of copped out at the end and didn't really go there. In this case, they're giving us something that is needed for the character, and it's not necessarily correcting anything in the past. It's just something that we were kind of hoping to see, I guess, at this point, 2 or something seasons ago. Also, interesting thing about your dialogue about it just now, I was so caught up in your talk that I forgot to switch the camera to you for part of it. So there's like this moment there, which you probably can't see, but everybody watching can see, where I was literally just sat there like staring at the screen like, yes, go on, Shana. It's like, oh, they want to see her talking, not me. Like, they could hear you, but they could only see me. I'm sorry about that. I was just being a Shana fangirl. Let's jump in the chat. Stormy says, I'm not liking Katrina and Brian. I really don't want her to break up a marriage with a young child. Ooh, good point, Stormy. Let's talk about that next. Before we do though, Victoria says, overall, it was a good episode, even though there was no Darby material. Yeah, tragic. But seeing everyone bonding was great to watch. It would be a 5 if we would have gotten some Darby. Yeah, they were so close to a 5 with this, which kudos, because I think all of the difficult parts of writing, like I think Katrina and Brian's relationship is going to be quite difficult to write. Mm-hmm. No matter what direction they take it. Harvey and Lewis and the therapist, that could have easily come off as a joke, and they really were able to keep it from being too jokey. And then, of course, Donna and Sam's storyline, which in my opinion, I think could have most easily gone wrong or gone like not really connecting with the audience. That was done flawlessly. So I would say they should be really proud of themselves, or I hope they are. The little bit of, a couple of Lewis's comments, I think, came off as homophobic. And then, I just would have liked just a glimpse of Harvey watching Donna walk out of the building in the dress. It would have taken like 3 seconds. Come on, guys. Stormy also says, my favorite TV ladies, Donna Paulson and Felicity Smoke, really rock red dresses. They do. They really do. So let's jump into that comment from earlier about Katrina and Brian. Shana, I want to hear your thoughts, and just know I'm going to be sitting here like this, like, while you're talking, but I'm actually going to switch the camera to you this time.
It's more pressure. No, I mean, it's a very, we've talked before about how this show really loves like its moral problems. And I'm having a moment because I think, first of all, Katrina needs a life. Like, they've beaten that dead horse. The girl doesn't even know from The Breakfast Club. Okay. Like,
I've never watched The Breakfast Club either. Is that like something everybody's supposed to have seen?
Don't talk to me.
I'm sorry.
It's a classic.
I've heard of it.
Well, that's better than Katrina. At least we'll work on getting you to see it.
Right.
It's she's happy with him. There's great chemistry. It's clear that there's like some kind of like little sizzle.
Yeah.
But but we shouldn't want it because he is married with a kid, and he is also like, as much as that something is there, he's clearly like completely aloof male about it. Like he doesn't even see her, which even makes it sadder because we're rooting for her to finally have something. And
I think he does, though. I think he sees her, and I think he's kind of, I mean, we see him kind of be enchanted by her.
True.
But enchanted in a, you know, at this point, they're completely platonic. They've done nothing wrong. They've admitted nothing, you know, whatever, which I think is super, super, you know, again, like in this case, in the case of fiction, in fiction, we often root for chaos, mistakes, whatever, for entertainment, right? So in the case of fiction, if we're rooting for, you know, a war or some character to die or aliens to invade, or in this case, if we're rooting for against this affair, it's different than if this were in real life. If this were in real life, though, mad respect to the way they've handled this, because they've definitely, like the way Katrina and Brian have handled this, because on his side, you have him definitely, you know, he loves to be around her, like adores being around her, wants to spend all this time with her, is willing to stay up late and spend time at the office, even though it's not like he's escaping home at all. He loves his wife, loves his kid, and loves spending time with them too. He just also adores Katrina, right? But he, you know, never does anything inappropriate. You never see him like touching her. You never see any like whatever, you know, like doesn't cross any line. On Katrina's end, I think she has this like trust towards him. However, and they kind of touch on this at the end, he's almost sort of her first real friend too, or maybe her first real adult friend.
Oh
so
God,
still have this
adult friend.
in a completely clean way. And she doesn't know necessarily how to navigate friendships, perhaps. And so it might be really hard for her to figure out where the line is, because it's sort of like almost a friend crush on her end. And then on his end, he's just super enchanted by her. But they both are like super respecting boundaries. So whereas before this episode, I was kind of like, oh, of course it suits. Everybody has an affair, like root for an affair. After seeing the boundaries and like the wholesomeness that the two of them have injected into this friendship, I'm almost not rooting for it as much. Although I would not be surprised if it happens. I don't know. I'm curious what you guys think. Stephanie in the chat says she adores Katrina. Stormy says they don't give Katrina a life outside the office. She doesn't have a love life and doesn't seem to have friends. Victoria says, Shana, you have so much work to do with showing Cammie Breakfast Club. So true. And Victoria also says she's all for Katrina and Brian, but has a weird feeling it won't end well. I mean, certainly if Katrina and Brian happened, it would not end well.
Yeah.
But again, sometimes in fiction, we root for things that won't end well just because they're entertaining. I guess selfishly, I'm also kind of not rooting for them because I know this show is sort of like one romance per season. I'm like, I'll take Darby. Sorry. That's kind of what I'm like to see. Stephanie also adds, I'd like Korsh to show me at least one lawyer with strong life and work ethics. I think, Steph, I think your best bet would be Katrina then. I think so.
I mean, she's trying really hard to be a good girl. I don't think it's going to end well.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you can't help but root for her, though, because then she's so awkward and sad when she realizes, like,
yeah.
You know, wait.
That he has a wife and a kid, and yeah.
So, I mean, you know, look. Maybe his wife will get run over by a bus and Katrina will comfort him.
Oh my goodness, no, we're not kidding. This is 2018. We're not killing any woman for the sake of any romance. Stormy says, I worry. No. Stormy says, I worry if an affair wouldn't affect their trying to be senior partners. Ooh, and you know, there kept being that comment that he kept making that if your senior partnership affects my senior partnership and all of that. And I see him as wholesome and I trust him as a character, but there is always the possibility that maybe he's using all of this to take senior partner instead of her. Is that a possibility in your eyes at all?
Nah, because he's still an associate, I think. Like, he's not even a junior partner yet.
Is it just supposed to sound more like Harvey and Donna's we made partner, not you made partner type of thing?
Yeah, that's how I took it. Like how, yeah. I think Donna really sees a lot of herself there, except for the fact that Harvey is not married, and therefore you can do something.
Yeah, I don't get what the ethical dilemma is with Harvey and Donna anymore. Like, is it still just the basic thing of, like, don't date people you work with? Because they're both single-ish, apparently, unless they're dating each other. They're both single. They're both available. They're both mature-ish. They both have, like, kind of worked through their past stuff. They're both in a stable place in their life. Like, is it really just you're not going to date somebody you work with? Because, like, where else are they going to meet somebody? Like,
I don't know. I think it's
better than dating your therapist.
Petty fight people because we hated everything else so much, and this is the one thing we want. So they're like, you're going to watch what we want you to watch, damn it.
Stephanie in the chat says maybe Brian can set Katrina up with one of his friends like real people do in real life. Ooh, I like that thinking. That is too smart for this kind of drama, but you're right. And Steph jokingly says, wait, Harvey isn't married? I thought he was married to that Donna girl. Sorry, I'm new. I love you. I really do think that I saw that going around when they were talking about the dialogue between, it kind of ties back around to the storyline of him and the therapist, when they were talking about having somebody, finding your life partner and then having a kid. And they really there was never like I need to find somebody first and have a kid. They were just talking about the having a kid part. It really made it sound like he already had someone. Are he and Donna, I know we theorize about this every week, but are he and Donna together outside of the office? What do you think?
I don't, look, people say there wasn't enough Darby. There was like some subtle, let me go in here. Lewis, could you step out for a minute so wifey Donna can set Harvey straight? Thanks. Like, she made him go to therapy.
They seem super married.
It's very, it's sad at this point. And he did, Lipstick was like, Harvey, do you want to have a child? And would not even do you want to have a relationship? Just, he jumped right through, Harvey, do you want to make babies?
Yeah. Well, listen, Harvey in canon is 47?
Something, I don't know. But look, there's no way Lewis goes to therapy and talks about Harvey that much without talking about Harvey and Donna.
Right.
So Lipschitz knows, Harvey's got Donna to make babies with. And he might have decided that he was going to fix the Lewis problem before he dives into that. But, Harvey was in that room, a minute, and Lipschitz was like, you're a very sick man. Let me help you. So,
yeah, honestly.
He knows about Donna.
Who's the real hero on the show? See, it's funny. I was recently answering a question on Tumblr, and I was talking about, in Suits, who is the, archetypal hero, who's the archetypal antagonist, archetypal foil, etc. Lipschitz is the hero. There's the answer.
Right?
Yeah. Samantha Voss says, I think Harvey is too afraid of losing Donna. If they were together and it went south, he would lose his shit. That's very true.
He is. Everybody leaves. He said it.
Yeah. Stephanie says, maybe that's why Harvey is suddenly making so much progress. He's dating an angel. And Stormy says, Harvey is so anti-affair. Having a kid involved, he would also hold that against Katrina. Oh, if Katrina were to have an affair and there was a kid involved and stuff, Harvey would not be cool. Yeah. Ooh.
That would fuck up her senior partnership. That would be some good drama, though.
It would. It seems a little Suits-ish. It's a little soapy, but it's also a little Suits-ish. Victoria says, yes, that's what I thought too, Cammie. He jumps right onto Lewis having a baby and not onto him having a girlfriend or fiance or whatever they are now. Yeah. Stormy says, I didn't get Harvey being against Lewis having kids because that would replace him in Lewis's life. I think that was just badly phrased. It wasn't so much that it would replace him in Lewis's life. It's that Lewis right now kind of in previous seasons has been pretty fixated on wanting Harvey's life, and now the tables have sort of turned, and whether Harvey wants to admit it or not, and by the end of this he kind of did to the therapist, he wants Lewis's life. He wants, you know, that partner to settle down with and probably to have kids and all of that. Right. And you know, I said in canon he's 47. Well, at the time that they were casting season 1, Harvey was supposed to be cast as between 40 and 45. So actually the canon age range for Harvey right now would be, it could be, I mean, how many years have passed since season 1? Do we know?
No one knows. I
know they're really weird about it.
They don't know. It could have been last month. Like, we don't know.
Well, we know, like, based on like the mic developments, we know that there was like at least 3 years passed before, I want to say, like season 5 or 6, and then since then I think it's had to have been at least a minimum of 1 or 2, possibly more. So overall about 5 years have passed. So right now Harvey, I would say, is between 45 and 50. So if he wants a kid, Stephanie says, yeah, I think it's about Lewis getting ahead of Harvey in certain aspects of life. Exactly. While Harvey's still stuck with his issues. Yeah, I agree. What do you want to see going forward, Shana? Let me toss it back to you. Like, we're now on episode 6 out of 10 until the mid-season. What do you want to see in the next 4 episodes?
Harvey and Donna are going to bang.
Yeah. Speak it into existence.
What?
Speak it into existence.
That's right. I'm going to play, like, look, there were these X-Files people that said Scully was going to be knocked up, even though it was impossible, and she was. So, Harvey and Donna are going to bang, and I'm putting energy in the universe, just like they did, except they have powers that I don't. I mean, no, I just...
The same people who have powers also watch Suits, so we can just rope them right into this.
Yeah, well, we know at least one of them is both fandoms. You know, Harvey's gotta fix his shit though. So I think, you know, again, if we go back to the issue of them not going to the gala thing together or whatever, like, first of all, Donna ate a bunch of oysters. There's no way she didn't make use of those with Harvey afterwards. Second of all, they're an aphrodisiac, oysters.
Oh, I didn't know. I'm vegan. I don't know any of this stuff.
Oh my God, it's a thing. You don't know any. Breakfast Club doesn't have anything to do with vegan, or not.
Yeah, no. I know spicy food is an aphrodisiac, and is it red wine or white wine or something? It's spicy food, and spices are vegan.
Okay, so anyway,
you know what else is a good aphrodisiac? Dating Donna, like,
right?
Damn,
Sam knows what's up. You know, but I do, like, Harvey needs to, he was working through some things, so it wouldn't have made sense for them to be on, like, some fancy date as much as I wanted them to be.
Right.
I expect, look, all y'all fanfic writers, though, like, get on it. That dress, Harvey Specter, Donna, 17 oysters, and some cocktails, get on it. Like, she showed up at his place horny and trashed, get on it. No, I mean, I really...
Bold of you to assume they don't live together.
You know, Lewis and Sheila, I'm so tired of it. I just need...
See, that was a highlight of this episode, is that there wasn't very much Lewis and Sheila.
Also, like, where is Robert Zane? He's the managing partner, and they, like, mention his name, but he's not there. Like... I'm going to start hashtagging where is Robert.
He went to go visit Rachel in Seattle because that's what they call London these days. Samantha Voss says, Darby, I think Donna's comment to Katrina was her speaking from experience. Victoria says, there is fanfic already, including the dress. Well, for those of you readers and writers, you've got that. Come find Victoria. She's got some links. Samantha also says, and yes, to Donna showing up at Harvey's place trashed.
And
yeah, Steph says, lol, Shana. Everybody's just like laughing at your idea, loving it.
Oh, that was a good idea.
So on board. It makes sense. And that's why she was so tired and hungover the next day at work.
She was like, I had a lot of cocktails. And I'm like, sweetie.
That's what the kids are called?
Cocktails.
I hear that's what the kids are calling it these days.
I think you're right. You're right. And like she went to have a whiskey with Sam. Like I need to know what that story is. I also think it's funny.
I feel like they would drink well together.
But I need to know that story. I need to know what the deal is.
I want next episode to start with Donna and Sam drinking. And Sam being like, so what's the deal with you and Harvey?
And Donna being like, I don't know. Like realistically, no one knows.
I don't know. I keep going back and forth on whether I buy the theory that they might be together outside the office or like friends with benefits or something. Stormy says Rachel's living a good life in a castle. Stephanie says I'd like to see Harvey choosing Donna romantically, very obviously, even if Korsh decides to still postpone it. Yes, Stephanie just put words to what I was trying to say last week about how I want there to be a clear divide. As much as I love the theory that they're together outside the office and they're just not admitting it, I do want to have a clear moment where they choose each other, where Harvey chooses Donna, Donna chooses Harvey. That first romantic beat, if you will, and then you have usually like the second romantic beat where it's like they get together and there's like a kissing scene or sex scene or whatever. That's a typical thing. There's usually a first moment where they get together. Samantha says, I thought I completely hate her, but Sam is growing on me. I adore Sam now. Well, I like Sam quite a lot now. Adore is a strong word. I adore Donna. Stephanie says, Harvey saying no to Esther, saying no to other girls, and then asking Donna out for drinks. I've been beaten and bruised as a Darby fan. Oh, so
Same.
Let's get Stephanie in the writer's room. I think she would do a great job.
Same.
Mm-hmm. You guys all have such fabulous ideas. I'm really curious to see what will happen this week. I think a lot of my thoughts on what I'd like to see going forward are quite similar to Shana's. I want to see, and quite similar to Stephanie's as well. I want to see a clear romantic beat where Harvey and Donna come together. No pun intended, no innuendo intended, unless it works out. And I mean, innuendo is fine too, whatever works for them. I want to see an end to Lewis and Sheila, but I don't think I'm going to get what we want. Sometimes, like life's hard. Sometimes bad couples happen to good people. It's fine. I want to see Katrina just get the world. I want to see her love and be loved, not necessarily by Brian. Maybe she just needs a friend right now, which is absolutely fine as well. I want to see better writing for both Katrina and Zane, and I'm really appreciating the writing for Sam, so I'd like to see that continue. I really am liking her. I'm not liking her to the point where I want to see like the season become all about like an individual storyline for her, because I'm so attached to some of our longtime characters that I really want to see a lot of like screen time and individual storylines for them happen. But I'm perfectly happy if she's very heavily involved in some of them, the way she was, for example, very heavily involved in Donna's story tonight. That was fantastic. I'm really, really happy. Stormy in the chat says, please don't let Sheila get pregnant. Well, Stormy, if you watch the promo for next week, you might be disappointed as I was.
Fake. He's fake. Maybe that's a twist, because he said there was a twist.
Do you think Sheila's faking it? She would do that.
I don't know. I just hope it's something like that. Like, I don't need this.
Oh, it could be one of those things where like the doctor is like saying like, you guys are too uptight, like trying or whatever, like you need to like stop trying or whatever. And she thinks that like Lewis needs to think they're not trying or something so that they can just like celebrate and get pregnant that way. And so she's like telling him they are when they actually aren't.
That could work. Or could she get run over by something?
See, my struggle with that is I love the actress who plays Sheila, and I think Sheila could be such a good character, but I think she's been terribly written for so long that I don't really have faith in their ability to write her. She's been like borderline villainous, and I think they just write it as like a funny joke. Like she's just like, like the ball and chain type of woman. Mm-hmm. And she's like, that's not really funny. Like nothing she's doing is funny. It's not a fun partnership. It's not a cute marriage. She doesn't seem happy in the relationship. He doesn't seem happy in the relationship. Of course, I'm sure they'll be happy if they have a child, if that's, it seems to be what he wants. And she says now it's what she wants as well. But I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, but Rachel's really great on Lucifer, and they saved that on the Netflix, so we can have Rachel Harris without having Sheila.
That's who plays Sheila, yeah.
That, so there's that. I'm tired of that, and I'm not in the Darby kind of tired, but like, and just it's not just
the Darby kind of tired.
Just I'm tired. And
I saw the funniest tweets earlier today on Twitter talking about the way you use the phrase "I'm tired."
I am. Many levels, but yeah.
You have like a special way of saying it when it comes to Darby, and like everybody can recognize it. I just think it's so funny.
I think it's apparently I sigh a lot, which in my defense, what else are we gonna do at this point? But can we talk about how great it was that like Donna has a friend that like we didn't know she had? She had a story that like had nothing to do with men. The only men were the one that she shook down, and Alex was like the off-screen meddler, and that was pretty much it. Like it wasn't dependent on either of those people. Like Donna,
I like that Alex got to do what Donna normally does. Alex was like the go-between to like get people to get along and just say what they mean. And Donna usually has to do that, and then she usually has to sort of like step back and not be a part of the story after she's sort of like got, like this person said this, and this person's actually good. Like, do trust them, don't trust them, whatever.
Yeah.
Alex did that, and then he stepped back and did nothing. And I was like, great. And then Donna gets to go out and do stuff. Love it. A nice change.
Yeah. It was nice. I think they listened to that request 3 years later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a little late.
So by that metric, we'll get Darby in 2032 or so.
When they qualify for like senior discount. Victoria says the promo sucked. Stormy says, I'm get off my screen, tired of Sheila.
Yeah.
Samantha says you need to make a gif of I'm tired. I feel that. I do. Well, we could go on for ages. I know I could go on for ages about tonight's episode, but I think we've covered all the main storylines, and I don't want to keep you any longer. But if anybody has other thoughts, questions, you want to hear more about it, you want to read more about it, you can always find Shana. She's posting a review of tonight's episode. Her information is in the description down below. She would be happy to talk with you about it after a deep sigh and then I'm tired. And I'm Cammie Ray on Twitter and on everywhere else. And you're welcome to come chat with me, chat with Shana, chat with both of us about all of your thoughts. Leave a comment on the video if you want about what your highlights, your lowlights, your pros and cons, your ratings are, and I'd love to read them. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next week as well to chat about episode 7 out of 10. How are we here already? Is it flown by? Do you feel like it's flown by, or are you tired?
Both somehow at the same time. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Victoria says, bye, queens. It was awesome to chat with you. It was awesome to chat with you, Victoria. Stephanie says, okay, I will try to write fics. I'm Harvey deprived. Stephanie, you are the true hero, even more than Dr. Lipschitz. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and I'll see you next week. Bye.